Hello, Swovelheads. It's Greg Allison here with Green Greg's coming to you live tonight. We're going to take a different view tonight, a different tack from what we normally do. We're going to, I'm going to try to show you a video I recorded outside. Instead of just uploading it, I'm going to try to share it through Zoom in a live session. I don't know how well that will take, so we'll have to see. But I tried to do a live video outside earlier today, and it just kept resetting every few seconds. I couldn't do anything with it. So my apologies for that. So I'll try to make up with that today here, tonight, I should say. And I'm also going to try to, show you some pictures of the move and the barn and different things. And so we can discuss that stuff. I'm going to try to also uh, see if I can get this to come up here on my phone and use my phone as the device for chat tracking the comments tonight. So let's see if I can find this video here. Uh, hmm. No, it's not showing. There we are. Is that it? No. I hope I'm live because I'm not seeing it. This is crazy. Oh well. I can probably go back to my other screen and see if it's actually showing. I got an audience in here. I may have a hard time managing seeing you guys. Let's see. I see some comments over here. There we are. Yes, we have people in the house tonight. Very good. Good to see you, Colonel Cole, Judy, Cha Cha. Yeah, I've seen some people I hadn't seen in a while. Crickets. Yeah. So I may have to switch back and forth. I was hoping I could see I can't I only got one screen here. So I usually do use this laptop as my second screen or sometimes a different laptop, which is I can't find a charger for right now. So why is it not coming up on my phone that I'm live? Yeah, bear with me a minute, guys, while I'm trying to get this set up. I do not see it. Here it is. Yeah, good. I usually do use this lap. Hang on, guys. I don't want to have my sound in here. So I can turn the sound all the way down, I think. There we go. There we go. Now I can watch those comments. Or at least refer to them from time to time, from moment to moment. So there we go. So let's do it. I am going to try a video here that I didn't play, that I recorded outside after the failed live attempt. So I'm going to play that. And I'll show some pictures and we'll have some chat and discussions just to kind of give you guys a status. And if you can't hear this video, let me know. It may not come through, so I may have to editorialize over it. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound or not. Hey, Killer Smurf. So we are going to try to do this. Well, so hang on with me. I got to share screen. Bada bing, bada bang. And I'm going to pick up this video right here. And I hope y'all see that. That is, oh, it went to pictures. That ain't what I wanted to share. Stop share. Let's go again. I hit share on the video and it went to a picture. Let's try that again. Share. That's odd. Do that. Media player. Ah, must have been how I click things. There we go. So here's a video from the barn. Now, y'all might remember this was a tall barn. So I want to say in chat if you guys can hear this. So I'll listen for you guys. So I come here last night, got home. Can y'all hear this? From Arizona. Last night. I find out today that my barn was burnt down over a week ago. 10 days ago. All right, can y'all hear that? 5 of 5. Okay, good. I knew nothing about it. Nothing. Remember, there was a big loft up there. A big loft, gone. The floor of the loft, gone. No sign of it. Huge fire. Charred trees way around here. I used that loft to make a video for my sound channel. Serenity Sounds, you gotta remember. But it wasn't just one fire. It was 3 fires here. Get that. 3 fires. Guess I should suspect arson. Look, even that big stump way out there was burning. Killer Smart, there's still a lot of questions. Still a lot of questions. I got to talk to the fire department tomorrow. It's a volunteer fire department here. They're not available during weekends. New days processing worms in here. It was a 12 to 20. Neighbors heard an explosion. Well, after 5 a.m., my barn was burning. There's nothing here to explode. Nothing. Why an explosion? A boom. A nice loft up here. But what for of it is, there's no evidence that it ever existed. Some of this metal off the side sheds can be salvaged. These are big timbers here. They are big timbers. Right here. This tree that I used had a pulley up in it. Used it to help build a little barn to get the last few logs up. It's going to die. Big pine tree. Not God's plan. 100-foot tall pine tree. Dead. Yeah, built a smart barn and lost his life to it. Still smells barn embers around here, even though like days ago it's rained since. Look here. This poly material way out here, way away from the barn, which I'd planned to take to Arizona to use as roofing material, melted. Logs way out here, charred, burnt. The fire went all the way out here. Very close to my house. So I had a contract with a house flipper to buy my house at an ordinarily low price, which was a kind of a ripoff for me. But I won't back out. Good chance or try to put a lower price on this. I don't know if I can live with it. It's already really problematic for me. The cost of moving to Arizona is already very high, much more than I expected. Time, money. The drawing knife could probably dress up some of those logs. They're now fire hardened. They might actually be good logs. Not last a long time. Not last longer than they would have. That's not all. Oh no. That's not how this log out here gets charred. Why is it charred? It's not burnt underneath. Is it? Here. Totally independent little fire. I could get some embers. But here's the most interesting. That was like 5 in the morning on the 12th. Back here, find fire. This fire back in here. It looks like it originated back up and down. This fire occurred about 5 to 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Totally separate time. Totally separate, seemingly, point of origin. Could have been from an ember. Maybe. Or was it something else? This used to be the home of my sled beds. I have sold my sled bed worm beds to a cousin. He bought, quite a few. And another individual. And I kept 10. I'll share those 10 in a little bit. This little spot here seemingly is the origin of the other fire. Somebody trying to burn some evidence here. Is this video smooth or jumpy? Anything flammable right there on this gravel? I don't know. It's jumpy on my phone. Really sad. I spent 2 or 3 years, about 3 years building that barn. Well, before I start this channel, many videos from the base of the barn. See something inside them. Many videos there. Happy videos. What happened? What happened? Why? It's almost as if something floated inside the barn. The neighbors did hear a boom. Yeah, that's odd. It's jumpy coming through my phone, like it skips. I'm playing it. It's smooth. The video I'm playing is smooth. But for some reason, I guess the way the upload is working, it's jumpy. There's no reason. No reason for a boom. Got burned up. The dream I was going to grow the worms that needed temperature control in. Dream I did final worm packaging in process. Here, I ran my trauma. Yeah, videos on that. So on my trauma. I got 10 sled beds left for Arizona. That's all I need personally. Years hard work building this barn. It was my pride. I was so proud of this barn. I was happy with it. Don't trip over it. A lot of tools with no handles. I used to stand right there and do videos, back when I was doing the Wednesday videos. Y'all might remember that's the first time we started praying for some of you guys. When Judy got sick, we prayed for her there. Maybe we should have a prayer tonight in this video. She was the first one we prayed for, because she was the first one we knew of that caught the cough bug. Stay there. Some of it. These bolts, 8 foot up in the air, so this whole structure's collapsed as it burnt. I had big post, about 8 by 8s in every corner. Those are gone, except that little piece of one right here. That was a huge support post. It was a big timber. The theory being that if the logs would have rot out, it was still a pole barn. It would have stood. Logs had rotted out entirely. Yeah, those were treated posts. Didn't happen. All the little screws in here for a lot of work. Gone in a flash. Don't really disturb me. One of my drivers on this trip I prepared with Arizona to move stuff apparently knew about this and wouldn't tell me. I'd like to know why. There's a hose pipe burned up. No water spigot, which probably would still work if you open it up. Yeah, all these are now about shoulder high, dropped several feet. They were up there. These logs burnt, collapsed down. Hope that tree survives. Might have to be taken down because it leans toward the house. Some piece of plastic on my bush hog. That on top didn't make it, but these willows, which you think would have burned up. Oh, super chat. Oh, well, thank you there, Valerie. Appreciate it so very much. Thank you for the super chat and the prayers. Very much for the prayers too. Wheelbarrows burn up. I can really use some prayers right now, folks. Fires burn off. My old push farm plows, garden plows, gone. Get two of them out here. Shovels. You find a lot of tools out here. There's just a metal pieces left. There's a trap. Probably still to be salvaged. There's a scoop bucket for making ponds. Plow. Yep. Mule drawn scoop bucket. One that's some shears. I guess somebody pulled this hose in later. Who did that? Surely it didn't survive. All these tools where you just find the metal pieces. The handles are gone. Oh, some blacksmithing tools. Intuitive machines. Yeah, tell me more, Billy. What a shame. What a loss. This barn was a major selling point for this property. There's the jack. Major selling point. My buyer for other people who's interested. So it was the thing I hated to leave for. The one thing I hated most to leave about. So for me, just one more sign, I'm done with Alabama. It will be investigated, Cha-Cha. Too many questions about this. Too many questions. Oh, and hidden machines. What's your contract, Billy? That's a big one. Chrissy, wow. Thank you so much for the awesome super chat, Chrissy. That's amazing. May Jesus keep you safe and covering us in the prayer. Thank you so much, Chrissy. Oh, look out here for these trees. Many of them are charred. Right behind my neighbor's house. Way out there. This was a hot, huge fire. Hot. I got pictures neighbors showing me. You can see it way up the street. Oh well. Time marches on. Got back from another trip, leaving stuff to Arizona. The adventure continues. Greg out. All right, well, I'm not out. That was just for that video. So we will X that video out. And I'll show you some pictures. Make sure and stop. And it's closed. Okay. So I'm going to screen share again here. Wow, we got another super chat. William Schaefer. Well, thank you. God is with you, Greg. You're blessed. You've blessed me. The least I can do for you. Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, William. And, I try to share a lot of good messages in here. So I hope people feel blessed by some of the content I share. So let's look at photos here. This is how I found it last night when I got home, just about 24 hours ago, maybe 23 hours ago. This is what I saw. Now let's see if I can step through these photographs in the right direction. Yeah, that was, how many videos have I done standing beside those logs, guys? How many videos? The one that actually made this channel big, talking about EMP right there. That's my little side room I built. Again, another view from the hall where I used to run worms. The yard burnt, charred, trees affected, even the leaves scorched. That poor tree in front, oh my gosh, look at it. There's a table there. Oh, that's this video. Hang on. I'll play that right now. Stop that. Play that. So let's stop the share and go back to the picking some other pictures. I'll show you some pictures from Arizona in a little bit, guys. So winter stock is running higher with a $12 price. Winter stock. LUNR. Yeah, this was horrible, Chrissy. Okay, so I'm gonna try to share some other pictures here, and I'll go more through the chat moment. I like to cover other content in a little more detail. Let's see here. Hang on. I gotta find the photo piece. Share and why did that go where it went? Maybe I'll pick off a different point and do. No, that was the last thing. Do some pictures from the trip. Yeah, we did have challenges along the way. A lot of the tires blew out. I had 4 drivers for this trip. Where is the thing when I advance the pictures out of there? So we replaced a lot. We replaced some tires on the trailers, but we actually lost this trailer twice. The tongue broke. I had it welded. Turns out, I think the the ball socket, the screw shank part of the ball was a little bit smaller apparently than the hole on the receiver it was fitting in. We kind of did a little source look at it, and that was an issue. And one tire look got shredded up good. That's the convoy right there. Had a U-Haul truck pulling a trailer. Had Blue. That's Christy, her mama driving Blue. She drove the U-Haul. Zach, or no, Christy drove me around so I could work the computer mostly. This is Black Beauty, my 2-ton truck. So I had my 1-ton truck and my 2-ton truck are right now both in Arizona. And Blue had a trailer loaded down with a lot of stuff, including the tops for my in-ground worm beds, which I'm planning to make roofing material for sheds in Arizona. It will also be for rainwater collection. Now, the roof of my tiny home, with average rains, will collect over 1,800 gallons a year on an average year of rainfall. It's almost 2,000 gallons just off the roof of my tiny home. Well, I got more roofing material right here and other roofing material I've taken out there to be able to collect a lot more water than that. But again, it depends on how much rain you get in a given year. This is a trailer that did not make it. My camper shell was actually inside that trailer there, wrapped underneath that. So we had 2 vehicles pulling trailers. This trailer, my old flatbed, which is I've hauled heavy loads on many times, way down in southeast Georgia, down around Douglas, up to here. It made it okay. It didn't have any issues. That's kind of a sunrise picture of one of our vehicles. Excuse me, my convoy on the road. You can see the 2-ton truck in the lead, the U-Haul, and Blue. Betsy Blue. She's been a workhorse. There you go. That's a better shot of it. What are we turning off here? Can't read the signs. Indian Nation. I guess this is in Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma City, somewhere around there. Might pull off, get gas, get fuel. There is my worm beds, my 10 sled bed worm beds. I tried to do a video on this one morning with my phone, but I just couldn't get it set up right. I had issues with it. It actually went live before I meant for it to go live twice. And so I just deleted them because it wasn't set up right. I was having issues with my phone. That's really all the sled beds you need to make a really decent little side income if you're not having to hire labor. If you're doing it yourself, you can do well on 10 sled beds. I'll cover that in another video. It's kind of like my video where I was talking about a steer a year right here. I mean, that's about how much worm meat you can produce, if you want to call it that, with those sled beds, about what you get with a steer. So you can see this truck. This is a heavy duty truck, guys. This is a C70 2-ton Chevrolet. She made it all the way, but she had some fuel issues along the way. Here we are. Where is that? The Leaning Tower. It's on I-40. I forget what town it's in exactly. But that's the convoy in front of this Leaning Tower, Britain, USA. If you ever drive I-40, you've seen that Leaning Tower there. It is behind me. Christie in blue. What are we doing here? Oh, this is after the tongue broke off the first time. We're trying to do a repair. This though is when, no, this is where it broke off the last time. We ditched it on the side of the highway. I mean, it nearly wrecked the U-Haul. It was pretty bad. Oh yeah, that was a me getting the floor jack out of the blue. I was getting myself up a little bit, so I got a scab from that. Oh yeah, one thing. This is a crazy road hazard. They had this. This was on the hill, going up I-40 from Albuquerque up the hill toward the top of it's a Love station. I usually stop at Love stations. I got a discount card for Loves, but you just step right off the pavement. You could step in that hole. I mean, you wouldn't see it. You'd break a leg there. There's no sign. There's no wash, no ditch. It just goes straight down. That's very deceptive and very dangerous. So watch out. This is what you, if you stepped off this at nighttime, you could easily step in it because there's no ditch out here other than one running this way. There's nothing running this way. There's no clue that you got a culvert or a major hole here. It would be so easy for somebody to step in this and break a leg. I think that's a hazard right there. It's a roadside hazard. How many times you step off the pavement, the interstate? Yeah, we actually was having some fuel pump issues and fuel supply issues. So my guy Zach tied a fuel can to the front of this van and used it as an alternate fuel tank for a bit. It worked for a bit, trying to get up that hill. We rented a skid steer out in that's my property to actually unload this stuff off off of the Black Beauty. And we cleared a spot to put those sled beds. So all this stuff got unloaded. I don't think I got a picture here. We're unloaded for some reason. That's the sled bed tops from my old in-ground worm beds, guys. I'm planning to build shed roofs with that, like I said earlier. There's a sunset through one of my juniper trees out in Arizona from my property. That's pretty much the same sunset, I believe. And this is how I'm working. I had 3 laptops running inside of my van Candy, which has got a solar array. And that's how I was doing some of my work out there at night. This van's got a issue right now with a water leak coming from the block. I got to take it into the shop so I can get it fixed. So it's not on the road right now, but I was sleeping in it out there. So I was using Cherry, the red van, to run me around and sleeping in my old Cherry van. I mean, my old Candy. This is Candy and this is Cherry. And my house is over here, the building. And there's my bus. We took the bus is in progress of coming back right now. It's in Oklahoma, last I heard. And we left my flat trailer out there. This is just before we departed to come back. And then I found this. Yikes, guys. So I'll stop the share. Hey, let's go through and see what folks are saying in here. How many people got in the chat room? 85? Make sure I don't miss anything here. The chat, we'll go through the chat here. All right. Nicole said checking in. Deep function 100,000 minus 1. Thinking of you. Annie Anderson, how you doing? Good to see you, Judy. Cha. Alaska for me. Well, hello from Alaska. I used to live up there once upon a time. Great is good. Oh, guys, I got to bust I had a van stolen from me here too. My back door was kicked in. First thing I noticed when I got home was, I was trying to fumble for my keys to get in. I tried to flip the switch, and this little washer room I made for washing vegetables off top deck, built Curtis Stone style. And I tried to turn the light, and there was no power. That's the freezer wasn't running. I touched the door, I was going to unlock, and it just swung wide open. And I see the door sill laying on my floor, busted out. Somebody kicked my door in. Now I think it was the fire department because they flipped the main breaker, which after I checked around the wire into the barn later that night, Zach came over and back over, and we worked on the wire, cut it. And but we flipped breakers. We made sure that one was turned off. So I actually handled the bare wires before we cut it off. So, yeah, with my hands, probably 220, but there was nothing on it that weren't hot. So that's what we did. Let's see. Let's talking to each other. That's good. We're family here, guys. So I'm glad y'all are chatting with each other. We got a lot of our old usuals in here. I'm sorry, guys. I've just not been able to do many videos. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, yeah, Nanny, it's been this move has been very tough. It's been tough to try to move and work. So I'll have a question for you guys when I go down through all these video comments here. Judy can relate to my loss. Judy's had a lot of trials and tribulations. She's recovering from another. Are you still in chemo, Judy? She's had a lot of been fighting cancer, guys. We have to pray for her again tonight. Maybe a few others in here before we go tonight. So I don't know if he has homeowners insurance. Yeah, I do have a homeowners insurance. So it should be. Hey, Jesse, hadn't seen you in a while. Greg, save the rakes. Yeah, I will. I'll save all the metal implements, all the tool implements I'm gonna take with me. Put new handles on at some point. Yeah. Let's see. Cinnamon, a trail cam. I had 3 trail cams. One of them was solar powered. And believe it or not, the battery died in the solar powered one. It wouldn't charge anymore. And the other cam I had facing out this way, the batteries died on it the 11th, and all this occurred on the 12th. I had a cam that would have seen I had a van I just got for running around here. I bought an old van and paid $1,000 for this old van. It was a 2000 Chrysler Town and Country. It was rough because, somebody had a dog in it or something. It needed to be cleaned out. For some reason, I didn't get door keys with it. I got the ignition keys, but there was no keys left in it. That van would go like 120 miles an hour in just like a minute or less. It went fast, quick, and it would stay true on the road. I mean, it didn't veer, didn't bump, no shimmying. It was a good van. I was real happy to get it. Somebody else got it. Somebody stole one of my vans here. So it's just been a lot of stuff here I found when I got home. But like I said, I walked in the house. I didn't even know the barn had been burnt yet. And then I went back outside and looked around, and I noticed the van was gone. And it was a little bit later, I looked back and saw the barn. So, guys. Anyway. No, I'm not going to rebuild the barn because that thing took me years to build. And I built it from logs that I harvested off my property here. And I'm selling this place. I should be out of here. I need to be out in Arizona building my tiny home, getting it finished up before the winter. That's my winter goal, but I got to get this place liquidated first, at least really close to it. So I got to be getting back out to Arizona. So who's responsible for the fire? Well, I hope we'll find that out, Rodney. I got to go talk to the fire department tomorrow. I got some ideas, but anyway, not sharing my screen. Well, I hope y'all saw the pictures. Share screen. No. Oh, we didn't see any of the pictures? Okay, I'll have to go back. Let me see if I hit it twice. I think there's a problem first time. Yeah, I've got a person I'm dealing with right now. He's been giving me a lot of problems. True, Jesse, on the tool handles. Yeah, still on chemo. So Judy is still on chemo. All right. Toward the end, if somehow those pictures didn't come in, if you tell me that, I will you turn 78, Billy. Legendary Buddy Man. Hey, you know, I had rabbits. I sold them though. What caused it? Good question. Did y'all see? Okay. Did y'all see any of the pictures or none? Tell me. Didn't see pics. Okay. Could be, Billy. Could be. There's going to be an investigation on it. You can bet the insurance company like that. I did call the deputies out here last night about the stolen car. They looked at the barn, but they didn't put that in the report, I guess, because the fire department's probably got that. And I may, you know, depending on what kind of findings we see, take that back to the sheriff's department too. Okay, so we'll go back on the pictures here. Let's try that one more time. What happened? I hit the share button and I hit the photos. Let's see. That's MP4. We want that. Maybe it's not going to share this out. What's going on here? I'll look and see if it's showing on my screen here in a minute. All right, can y'all, is this sharing or not? It's just telling me to stop share as if it is sharing, but I'm not seeing it. I may have to put these, hey, cowgirl, I may have to put these, there it is. I may have to put, okay, I won't have to do that. Cowgirl, how you doing? All righty, guys, so this is what I found when I got home and looked at my barn. Yeah, here's pictures of it. So I just covered this in the video. That was my little side room. Now, this was over 8 foot high, these logs were here. Now they collapsed down to about 5 or 6 foot. They lost about half their altitude, height. These posts sticking out here are about shoulder high here. They were way over my head, about 8 foot up. That's the yard in front of the barn, back where I used to have barrels. Barrel house for raising worms in. So views of it. I think it's in my rabbit hutch. I should have covered the rabbit hutch. There's the rabbit hutch. All the rabbits are gone. The cages are gone. My old rocket is gone. The test stand's gone. Oops, no, that way. I think this is part of the problem. Let's stop this share. Come back to the pictures again. I'm gonna try to go back into another place. Oh, that may be where I messed up. Hang on. Why would they do this, Greg? It may have been an accident of somebody doing something they should not ought to have been doing. That's kind of my suspicion right now. Hang on, let's do this. I'm gonna have to share. Oh, I think I knew what messed up. I opened the photo thing from here. Let's see. Take this and walk it backwards. Maybe that do something. I just have to walk backwards through all these and to the other photographs. That takes us back in time. Let's go the other way. Can y'all take them back to the front and then we'll talk through them. Because when I went forward, it wasn't sharing. All right, I think that's the first one. All right, so apparently this is working. Yeah, we had some issues. We had some tires blew out, got bad, needed to be replaced. On this metal trailer, this was my compost trailer. It did not make it. But we did take the tires off. We salvaged the tires. This is the convoy. That was the fleet of vehicles that took out a U-Haul with a trailer, the metal trailer that didn't make it. Betsy Blue, my 1-ton truck. Black Beauty, my 2-ton truck. That's a C30. That's a C70, both Chevrolets. And this is my little red van, runner-up van, Cherry, which I had planned to leave in Arizona, and I had a different van I was going to use for the same function here for a while, and somebody stole that van while I was gone. Rear view of the convoy. You can see Blue is pulling a big flatbed trailer, and there is the metal trailer, the compost trailer, which had compost in it. I was hoping to use it in my garden. It didn't make it. Worm castings. That trailer was full of worm castings, and it had my camper shell top. I was planning to use as a roof. That didn't make it. This is kind of a sunrise picture of the U-Haul van. Here we are on the road. This is in Oklahoma. You can see the 2-ton truck in the lead. The van, the U-Haul pulling a trailer, and the Betsy Blue pulling a trailer. Pulling off one of the exits here, and Oklahoma. It must have been on the other side of the state. It said 24. Well, that looked like the other side. Just some on the road pictures. Again, there is the 2-ton truck loaded down with 10 sled bed worm beds. Now, that's really all the worm beds you really need to make a decent little amount of money if you're not having to hire anybody. If you haven't hired anybody, you're out of luck. But you can do pretty well with that, with local sales. And that's what I'll probably be doing. Or just growing worms from my own big garden aspirations. 10 sled bed worm beds. Like I said, y'all might remember me doing a video called A Steer a Year, and I was talking about 5 from the based on 5 plywood beds. This is about the same equivalent. So I will probably go back through that again. Here we are. I think this is in Texas. I'm not sure. I forget. This is either in Panhandle, Texas, or in Western Oklahoma. I forget which one. It's on I-40. It's that leaning water tower. Anybody's been down I-40 has seen that. Here we are working on the blue, and here I had this trailer hitch snapped off in a parking lot in Arkansas, and we did some repair work on it. We welded it back in place and snapped off again. You see this hole here? I think that hole was a little too big for the shank part of the bolt of the ball, and we think it wallowed the threads out in the ball, and the nut slipped off eventually and caused this trailer to go crazy behind this moving van, when the only thing that was holding it was the chains. And it was about to flip the van. So we just left the trailer, which at that point, we then lost the tongue twice, welded it back once. It wasn't worth the risk. We don't want to risk crew to something like that. So we abandoned it. That's worm castings right there. And that was the top of an old Chevrolet S10 truck I used to have. I was going to say that camper shell, and then pulling out the my floor jack out of the saddlebags of blue. It's real tight in there, and it kind of caught me on the middle. This is the hazard I was warning you guys about. This is a culvert on I-40, just west of Albuquerque, going up the hill, the big hill going out of Albuquerque. And it don't look like it so much, but it's quite a climb. And the thing is, if you're stepping off the road there, you may not even see this because the ditch runs this way. There's no ditch running this way like you normally have for a culvert. So there's no intuitive signs looking at things that you would have a hazard right here. But if you stepped off the pavement into that, you'd probably break a leg, or you'd fall in and be skinned up real bad. Real big leg break possibility there. That is a road hazard. They should put something around that. That's terrible. And here's where we strapped a fuel can to the front of a Black Beauty before we got all the fuel lines cleaned out enough for it to run right. Now, this isn't my place in Arizona. This is a skid steer I rented to take the worm beds off of Black Beauty, a 2-ton truck. Where we're using it to smooth out an area for putting those sled beds. And also, we built a loading ramp out there for Black Beauty. Because Black Beauty is back is real high up. This is as high as a trailer on a semi truck. So getting stuff on and off of it is not all that easy. But hopefully now, if I was to put a tractor on there, I could drive it off. Or if I put other things on here, I can pull it off with a tractor at the ramp we built. I don't have a picture of that ramp right now. This is my property in Snowflake area, somewhere in that vast area around Snowflake. I'm not going to say exactly where, but these are the remnants, the tops of some of the tops, not all of them, some of the tops of my old sled bed worm beds. And the plan is to make a roof out of those. And there's my two trucks, my two little pickup trucks, antique both. Blue is a 76 model, and Black Beauty is a 79 model. Both still workhorses. Sunset through juniper bush. There's a sunset, Arizona. And this is my working station, the setup and side of my van, which I call Candy because she's red on the outside and white on the inside. I had 3 laptops running, powered by at nighttime by Jackeries, but daytime by the solar array on top. You can see a little bit of my tiny home over here. Now I've got videos I've done on the tiny home itself. That's the bus, which is on its way back right now. It's got some delays. It's somewhere in Oklahoma right now on its way back. So rather than use a U-Haul next time, a U-Haul cost me a lot of money, a lot. So this, all I had to pay for this, and if we get it home, is the fuel on it to get it back. Then I can take another load. I can clear up my rest of my property, what I'm going to take with me in this bus, and maybe some stuff out of storage. And there's my flatbed trailer. This is just before we took off, come back. And then I found this. All right, I'll stop the share now. Now I hope y'all saw the picture. Sorry about that. So let's see what folks are saying here. Go back to the chat room. Chrysler vans, Dodge vans, and Chevrolet trucks. That's what I'm running right now. Actually, believe it or not, I'm a Ford guy, but I don't own a single Ford at the moment. In fact, I've not had a Ford in a long time. Really long time now I think about it. Decades. So let's see what folks are saying here. We got 101 in the chat room. Very good. Keeping nurse pepper, how you doing? Did you keep anything valuable? It sounds suspicious. Yeah, it is suspicious. New days. Maybe when the cat's away, the mice will play. I don't know what was going on. That's what I want to find out. That van, like I said, neighbors all the way up at the end of this. I live on here in Alabama. My place is the bottom of a semicircle. It's like this, still drive. I'm at the corner. One of the corners like horseshoe. I got the largest lot here in the whole development, 1.9 acres. And people all the way up at the end, up next to Jeff Road, heard a boom. Saw flames. There's nothing in there. Should have been nothing there to go boom. So interesting. Now, there was the remnants of that hurricane come up there, and I'm hear reports that there was like 60-mile-an-hour straight line wind. A little lightning, though, but wind, a lot of wind. So I don't know if that played into it. What kind of object coming toward Earth strategy suit? They said we got us a new moon or temporarily. Sophisticated ICBM. Oh, the Sarmat 2. Yeah, that is a very powerful ICBM. It's actually capable of, Russia could fire that over the South Pole and come up and get us through where we're not watching. We don't have any radars. That's part of the threat of that missile system. 12 MERV warheads. All right. Siri Mac, if would like to have a cook-off instead of a warhead going off. The MP flash would be unmistakable. Yeah. Well, now there may be satellites up there that could set off an EMP. Thank you, Jesse, for calling for the thumbs up. Yeah, Cowgirl, I put so much work into that. That was really sad. Oh yeah, so mushroom cloud. Yeah, there's some big bombs that's been dropped. I guess in Lebanon by the Israelis, probably Moab, that bomb. It wasn't nuclear, but it did make a big mushroom cloud. And a big enough explosion will make a mushroom cloud. I've seen ordnance go off and make mushroom clouds. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. You know, maybe they tried to launch I don't know. Hey, we got a super chat. Michael F. Thank you, sir. $5. Yo, we were out here, airport stories today, but all that matters is to info. Hey, thank you for super chat. Thank you there, Michael. Awesome. Yeah, I hope so. New days. It's gonna be interesting to see what to come up with. Nothing in news. Oh yeah, there was that big explosion, I guess, in Lebanon. But also, an ICB, Russian Sarmat 2 was destroyed by apparently Ukraine. They claim it was a drone from Ukraine, but was it really a drone? That was quite a hit. That was a big explosion. Yeah, Rodney, that's true. Moab bomb, the massive ordnance air blast bomb, also known as the mother of all bombs. Yeah, it's large. Well, I don't know if it was actually not to be launched or not. That's debatable. I've heard different things on that. So anyway, so what's it all boil down to, guys? Um, what you see is, you look in this room, it's empty almost. Remember when I had all these cabinets back here and I had the desk with all my little awards and things on it, and the desk over here, and my table over here, and I had a big desk here, and I had cabinets and file cabinets, all this stuff's gone. The bulk of, and I just got a few tiny things left in this house, just like nothing. I mean, it's just a few things you can pick up and get out of here in a matter of a couple of hours. My computer right now is sitting on a folding table, just a folding table like you'd see in a cafeteria somewhere, maybe, or take out on a picnic or find at a farmer's market. In fact, I probably use this in a farmer's market. Like I still got my server set up over here. I haven't taken my lights off the wall, my stage lights, but all that's going to go. Will all be gone soon. There's not much left here. You remember all the sled beds that were in the back? They're all gone. Every one of them. So Green Greg's Worm Farm, what's left of it, is in Arizona. And yeah, there's still worms in the beds. So they were watered good before we left. So anyway, so everybody else is saying here. WW3. Well, we seem like we're getting closer to WW3 every day. So that's part of what I'm doing, guys. I'm prepping. I mean, this move is a major prep for me. Wow. I mean, where I live now, I'm 26 miles from Browns Ferry Nuclear Power Plant. And I'm not so much worried about the power plant as having spent fuel rods, spent fuel rod and the spent fuel rod pulls, even the EMP, that cause that stuff to cook off and put out a lot of radiation. So that, and just the number of people here, so many people here. And then given the kind of activity I'm seeing here, guys, I had a van stole from me. I mean, if there's so many people moved in this area here in just the last 3 or 4 years, Huntsville, Alabama went from the third largest city in Alabama to the number one in a matter of no time. They're building around here like crazy. What used to be Phil's nearby, I'm not 12 miles out of Huntsville. They're building huge apartment complexes everywhere and housing divisions. They're just popping up all over the place. They're building businesses and stores and shops and whole new towns and cities all around here. It's crazy. Now, if the world wasn't looking at on the teeter totter of all the trouble, hey, it would be great for selling, garden goods and worm stuff. the market would be going up. But in a grid down situation, these are all hungry people. And you can see I'm already getting hit here. So what would it be like? What's it going to be like here if the grid goes down? It would not be pretty. So I'm getting out. Where I'm going, almost everybody's a prepper. So it's vastly different. And I've got really good neighbors and friends who really helped me out there. Here I pay for help, and the help is like no help. But out there, I get good people coming and helping me. Like Cowgirl in Arizona, her and her husband come out and pitched a hand building my walls on my tiny home out there. Uh, and he's a carpenter, so he brought a lot of experience to play coming out, getting those walls up. And, they came out to my place twice, in fact. And you might remember Rainbow Food Rocks. Her husband helped put the roof on right before I left. So I'm not going to give his name out because we're very private about that kind of stuff. He likes to maintain his privacy. Good guy, really great people. My neighbor there next door to me has been more than helpful. I mean, constantly offering to help, constant. That's what I get for people helping. People helping each other. I mean, you meet people. There's only one store between where I live and Snowflake, and people you meet there will just say, "Call me." They'll give you a card and say, "Call me anytime." Strangers. I don't get that around here, you know. And people, oh yeah, I live over here, I live over there, and people are very friendly. So it's a very different community. It's like Alabama used to be when I was a kid, in terms of people offering to help each other and do things, just like this area was when I was a kid. So it's very family oriented and friend and neighbor oriented, much, much, much more than this area is here. Sure, you got druggies anywhere you go, but it's just not as bad out there. So, and I don't think, I'm living on a circle here. People can just pass by and cause mayhem, but out there, I'm down the end of a long dead end road, the very end of it. In fact, I built the last half mile, well, yeah, about half mile of road. Actually, more than that because I branched it out on my property. So, and you got to pass by a Marine Corps buddy of mine to get to my property. And then I got another buddy up on the hill who likes to practice with his long range rifles. So I think I'm pretty covered there. So you're not going to get to my property without passing through all these guys. And probably the washes help in my defense really too, because a lot of people just don't want to go down and what you got to cross to get to my property. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just happy with the community. Everybody goes, "When you move to the desert and there's no water." Well, there is water. Yeah, you get about 12 inches of rain, 12 point something a year. So technically where I'm at, I think you got to be under 10 to be technically a desert. It's close. It's still considered desert. But I do have a lot of large juniper trees on my property, lots of them. One that's really large. Jesse told me no juniper trees got that big. And he's a forest ranger in a forest where there's tons of them, like all up next to each other. So he's got to come out and check it out one day. Jesse's been real nice to me. He's one of the good local people there in the area who's had me out. They took me out to dinner one night in a nearby town called Sholo. So, I got to meet a lot of people out there, a lot of good people. Got a lot of friends out there. So I got friends here too, so it's just good to have friends. And we have a lot of friends here through this channel, and some of the friends of this channel have met me out there. So I really appreciate that, guys. But I'm going to just have to liquidate this place as soon as I can and get out of here. And that's just the bottom line. But I think in terms of prepping the things where our world is going, I'll be a lot better off there. Growing a garden will be maybe a little bit more of a challenge, given I have to really watch the water. But people do that there. I mean, they do grow food. They do grow gardens. A lot of cattle. It's a free range cattle area. Cattle just roam everywhere. In fact, someone come across my property, keep their cattle out, I'm gonna have to fence my property. But also, I want to have my own cattle, and I don't have to chase them all over the countryside. So I'll have them inside the fence. I got an area on my property that's just great for cattle. So Yeah, I'll have some cows, a few head, if I can pull it off. At least that's my hope. We'll see. Cow girl in Arizona tells me I need sheep. I got an area where I might put those too. So I might can do a few of those, maybe a few goats, rabbits. But I'm gonna be slow bringing that stuff up because I gotta make sure I got time to deal with it. I'm not going to overextend myself. Right now I'm working, so it's kind of hard to do. So, oh, what happened here? Hang on. I'm trying to scroll through the chat. That's what people say. St. John's, Arizona. Oh, very good. St. John's. That's where my skid steer came out of. Jeffrey. Jeffrey Bowen. All right, maybe some of us can meet up one day. Keep your head on swivel. You're right, Ace. Green Gregs, don't forget that the US dollar is not doing well. No, it's not. It's not doing well right now. Well, you know, we got the BRICS trying to take the dollar down. That's another good reason y'all ought to think about. He's out there in the shoulder. Who's in the shoulder, Billy Kid? Nomadic Frantic. No, I don't know him. But Sheldo is real close. I mean, not real close, but out there, if you can get to it in a half-hour drive or 45 minutes, it's considered close. So I'm 30 minutes from Pine Forest in one direction and 30 minutes from abject rock desert in another direction. So you don't have to drive long to get a lot of variation in environment. So if you get bored by looking at one thing, you drive a few miles and you got a totally different view. Totally different view. So if you want to see the pine forest, they're there. So if you want to see the painted desert and petrified forest, they're all close at hand. All close at hand. And I find petrified wood. It's all over the place. I found look, where the storage unit is, if you look at the gravel, you'll find petrified wood mixed in with their gravel. It's little bitty pieces, maybe not your choice pieces, but it's in it. So it's kind of interesting. Oppenheimer Ranch Project Diamond might be able to connect with Jay. Oh, where's Jason Smith at? We not seeing Jason? My friend Camper Van. Camper Van Kevin is there in Shello. Okay. So Rodney is talking about another channel here. YouTube saying the same thing. Let's see what people saying. Chatter about something here. Looks interesting. Greg, as a rocket scientist, you should make a big rocket and get off this planet. Takes money, my friend. I have made rockets. Remember that I used to use a rocket motor as my PC laptop stand. Sedona, Arizona. Okay. Cha gave him my email, but he never got in contact. Who's that, Rodney? Jason? Yeah, where's Jason at? I used to see Jason sometimes over in the chat room on what's the name of that channel? He pops in there a lot. Bike Scout Survival. Yeah, you see him in there a lot of times. The best soldier is the one that can lead and also take orders. Yep. Raging Rick. Hello, same here. Ontario, Canada. Okay, Line Rex. All right, how long we been on tonight? How long we been in here tonight? That's Camperman Kevin. Yeah, 68,000 subs as well. Well, I live out of I've been living out of my van for a half year out there. When I'm out there, I'm staying in that van. I'll be using my bus probably as my office space coming up. As I'm, just not really enough room for a proper office. And my other van, like I really need to do videos and work my day job. I'm doing remote work right now, guys. Engineering work. And I am more than full time. Let's just put it that way. So it does take a lot of things. In fact, I actually posted one of my work products tonight. I actually was working some on that tonight. So my day to day has been filled by going around and talking to neighbors and trying to investigate what happened here. and a little bit, just trying to get resituated to be in the house after the door got kicked in. And I've got a guy supposed to be coming tomorrow morning to fix my door facing, so that I can be secure in the house. And because right now I can't lock it, the door facing is just kicked in. But if somebody is bold enough to come in here, they might get a special treat of some mineral fortifications. If they're that bold, I might be really generous with some mineral fortifications, some real heavy minerals. You know what I mean? Anyway, hopefully that'll never happen. But I'm prepared to defend myself, guys. We rarely see our neighbors that alone say hi to them. Most folks stick to themselves down here. But well, that's the way it is in urban areas around here, or even most of your suburbs. We got Vicky in the house. Vicky, there she is. Many blessings. Hey, Vicky, how are you doing? All right. So, how's your cat? My tomcat, with me coming and going so much, he comes up sometimes, and then sometimes I don't see him for a while after I first come back. So I'm hoping he'll show up before I leave for good, so I can put him in a cage or something, put him in the bus and take him back with me. So it's about time to move the kitty cat. So I only got one left. His name is Freddy Cat. Boots, something happened to Boots. But I haven't seen him yet. I've only been back for a day. Sometimes it takes him a week or two to show up, but they ain't gonna be around that much longer. I'm about out of here. So, but he's apparently a pretty good survivor, as it is. If for some reason I don't see him before I got to go, but I'm gonna be coming through the area, some on and off. I've actually got to work, even if I get totally moved out in Arizona in the next few weeks. I got a work meeting here scheduled for November. So I will expect to be here in November. So let's see here. Okay, I'll be able to read through all this chat. So except for my spine, I'm doing pretty well. Okay, Vicky, well, glad to hear that. So anyway, Vicky, what about your day job? Engineering. I'm doing avionics, system safety, and some software system safety. That's all I'm going to say about that. So much about that right now, guys. Can you do your day job in Arizona? Yeah, I actually got a Starlink. I finally set it up, but my generator's crapped out on me. I've got two Predator generators. One I used to kind of help me stay warm toward the end of last autumn out there. And then they got me a Predator 3000. That was a Predator 2000. Now, neither one of them are cranking. I don't know what's going on with them. I got to have power. So I'm going to have to work on that as soon as I get back, because I got to have power. And I got to start working up the solar more. Cat, better be careful. It's on the menu in some places. That's true. A lot of coyotes out there, but there's coyotes here. He's out here running around with dogs and coyotes and raccoons and all kind of things that could threaten him, and he's survived so far. Probably because he lives up to his name. He's a Freddy Cat. They're working on a new missile called the Z Smurf. Oh, Greg, bet you good bet to everyone. I work tomorrow too. Yeah, okay. Cuban Nurse Prepper. Have a good night. We're about to go. I actually work tomorrow too. Off gridders. That's good to hear, Billy the Kid. So yeah, maybe I need to meet him and tag up and do some videos, because I'm living out of a van out there. I could do a van life video. There's channels that do nothing but van life, bus life. So I could cover a little bit of both. Tiny homes, could cover that. Gardening, there's a lot of special niche topics I could probably pick up. My landlord's barn collapsed a few years ago due to snow. Okay. Well, intuitive machines, I don't know. Billy Wayne Norwood. I don't know. How do you build the kid? Because still got the Build the Kid logo here. Is it worth the preparation to live out there? I definitely think so, William. Definitely think so. You're in my thoughts. Well, thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Dude, Greg, you guys would get along. Awesome. Well, maybe I can meet up with him. Maybe I can meet up with him. He's in the area. There's probably other similar channels in the area. So, uh, yeah, and there's a worm farmer up in Show Low too I need to meet up with. Although he might not be happy to see me, he might see me as competition. But I'm not going to push it hard. You know, I was at one point doing 140 pounds of worms a week. With some weeks it was like 178 or something like that. That was back when I had good, could hire people that could really do the work. I can't find that anymore. The best my recent hired help could do was 20 pounds, like in a day, a whole long day. Barely get that. And I used to do that myself in an hour or less, just depending. So, oh, there might be a wave of immigrants who like rhinos for supper. Rhinos? Oh. Sergeant Lee. How you doing, Sergeant Lee? Good to see you. So, yeah, I think it's about time to call it a night here. Let's see if anybody's got prayer requests. Vicky, you say your spine's bothering you. We've got Judy Dow, who is going through chemo right now. Really and truly, New Days is probably still recovering from her major surgery. We don't have Granny Lana with us anymore, but I'm pretty sure that her granddaughter, Kaylee, still needs some prayers. We should say a prayer for Kaylee in honor of Granny Lana. She never asked us to pray for her, just her grandkids. She had a big heart, so we definitely miss her in this channel since she passed away. It's good to see you live, Greg. No business. Yeah, it's hard for me to go live, guys. And one thing, some of my help has been helping me pack stuff with being here late in the evening when I'd usually be doing videos. And that was another thing that interfered with me doing a lot of video content. And I've just had problems going live on my phone, as y'all saw earlier today. I've just not had a good success with that in many weeks. I've tried and aborted, and I even thought about aborting that when I left it up. But it was not a good vid. Gee, 30 amps had 120 volts running to 50. Yeah. The higher the voltage, the less amps you need to get the same power. So if you're doing solar array, it's sometimes better to go higher voltage just so you don't have to put in as much copper. Blue Moon got here late. I will rewind. There you go, Blue Moon. Get the story moving to Arizona. There's a little bit of that in here, and also a lot about my barn content that I just couldn't show anything this morning or earlier this afternoon when I tried to make that video because it just kept getting knocked offline constantly. As soon as I'd come, hit resume, it get knocked out again. And really, my cell phone signal wasn't that bad, so I don't know what that was all about. It was a mess. Cha-Cha, what is it you don't understand, Cha-Cha? Pose me up well now than when I was there, but everything else is better. Okay, I'm glad to hear you doing better, Vicky. Oh, you didn't know about Granny Lana? Yeah, Granny Lana passed away. She passed away, unfortunately. So let's do the prayers here, guys. And let's just say a quick prayer for all the members of the channel, our friends, family, our country needs prayer, our world. Let's pray that World War III does not actually descend upon us. That something comes along and averts it from getting, well, we're already in World War III, but let's just pray that we get that it doesn't get more intense, that somehow that's averted. I don't know how. It would take a miracle at this point. I want to plug a 30 amp cord to a 50 amp breaker plug. Well, that means that breaker is not going to trip in time to protect that cord. So that cord, if you put too much power draw on it, could burn up. There you go, Jesse. Thank you for asking for thumbs up. If the great physician wants me healed, he can do it instantly. That's true. I have had one of those instant healings myself. My knee, where I had my meniscus trimmed, had been popping for weeks, and I thought that meniscus is just ripping more. Every time I'd take a step, it would pop, pop, pop. And I thought, man, I'm about to be in trouble with this knee. And I put one hand on the knee and I reached to the greater creator with the other hand, and I felt enormous energy. It felt like there was a little finger running around inside my knee. The popping stopped then and has not resumed since. Healing is a real possibility. Healing can take place, my friends. Been there, felt it. It's happened. I am a recipient of an instant miraculous heal. So to never shortchange the power of the greater creator, of the heavenly host. So don't ever, some people won't agree with that. Some people just don't believe in anything. But I personally know. And I'm very grateful for that. So, it's amazing what can happen. So that's why I believe in the power of prayer, my friends. That's why I believe in the power of prayer. Hey, Alice, how you doing? So let's pray for our friends here. And then we will see where everybody's at, and we'll call it a night here. So let's just have a moment of silence. If you don't believe in prayer, I do not lead a prayer because I believe we come from different faiths. And I just ask you to pray in your own manner. If you don't believe, just like I say, a moment of silence is golden. We've not had a prayer session in a while. So let's do it. Now, our first one was in the barn that burnt, and we were praying for Judy. Well, that was the first time we prayed for somebody. I think we did pray for the world to slow down a little bit back before the cough bug struck. So let's do that, guys. Just a moment of silence or a little prayer. Amen. Amen. And when two or more agree in prayer, that's powerful. Miracles happen. I respect that I have not been given the spine trouble to keep me from overdoing. Well, that could be. And, that may be part of a year and a half ago, I made the decision to move to Arizona. And that came after me getting kind of kicked in the pants probably a third time here. It was like all in a day, my hired help can only manage to harvest 20 pounds of worms. I got laid off from my day job. Actually, I transferred to some other work. It was part-time for a while. But that ended at the end of last year. So I went several months this year with no work. Now I got lots of work. And then there was my greenhouse blew up. Again, probably shoddy help. They didn't put the baseboard down right. In fact, they didn't attach the baseboard like it was supposed to be attached, and they didn't do that. And so a wind, which was not as strong as other winds I've seen here very often, we had a little microburst of some type. It threw that board up over the greenhouse, ripped it wide open, created a huge open for the wind. It went inside and just blew the thing up. This was 1 week after I spent a lot of money repairing it, trying to get it up to snuff for a major run. So I got hit like a triple whammy there. And I just decided then to fold shop. I wasn't able to leave immediately. I sat down and did my taxes, got some tax returns, and used that money to get started in Arizona. So it was from March. It took me from March to mid-August to get everything handled. All my taxes are bare. I had 3 years of back taxes. Taxes mean a super bare, and I'm behind a year already again. So I got to hopefully, once I get the tiny home done, get back on that. But taxes are, I would take vacation for weeks and just be working on taxes. But so I'll have to do it again. But yeah. And so I've been in this process of trying to get myself to Arizona for a bit. But, got a tiny home to build. I got a lot of stuff here to liquidate. So I've been busy, guys. Been really busy. But I encourage everyone to do whatever it takes to put yourself into what you think is the safest place you can be. Or make your own place as safe as you can. And if you're in a place that's not too safe, you need to consider a bug out plan. But that bug out plan should include a destination that can receive you. If it's to go camp out in the national parks, you're going to get a rude awakening because that's what everybody else is going to do. It's going those national parks, especially the big ones out east, Smoky Mountains Park. They're going to be shoulder to shoulder people almost. I'll say that figuratively, but there's going to be a lot of people, and so surviving off the land will be a challenge when there's just hordes of people trying to do the same thing. Although some of us know how to eat cambium from pine trees. I did a video on that, guys. You should never go hungry where pine trees grow, if you know that, right? My prayer was to allow Green Griggs to make his way into Arizona home without folly. Well, thank you, Billy. I think I may have already encountered folly, but let's pray the folly ends now. No more of that. No Russians. Norway. Good to see you, Norway. All right, folks. I thank you all for being here. Thank you, super chatters. You have been indeed super. Thank you, mods. You keep this channel clean. And, we don't have all the bots coming in attacking like they used to, probably because they know they just won't get anywhere here with all the great mods that we have here. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank you all for your prayers for me and for other people on my channel here. I am going through a very stressful time right now, extremely stressful, trying to work and move. And there's been a lot of drama with some of the people that's been involved in the move. Let's hope all that ends soon. That's all I got to say on that. Stay here. Oops. Look, Greg, we love you. Well, thank you there, Billy. I have nutritious weeds and roots. Yes. Very good to have it. Lynn Dunn. I am in Arizona, Greg, and Prescott. All right, very good. Halo, halo, halo. Hang a rocket from a balloon and off we go. There you go, Lynn. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to meet up one day. I may do a rendezvous sometime out there, but I don't want to do it on my property because I don't want everybody to know exactly where I'm at. Because as a prepper, you should keep your actual location confidential. But here I did a commercial worm farm, had people coming here to get stuff, and so that was hard to do. So I just never bothered here. But there, I want to have some level of confidentiality about my location. And I cannot want to see you. And I cannot wait to see you 100% time on your Arizona property. There you go, Billy. Well, that's coming. That's coming. Get your chin up. There we go. I am so there with moving. Yeah. Hey, Alice, how you doing? Alice, waiting to see you around a while. Good to see you in here. Thank you, Arnold. Well, thank you, Carol. Greg, I'm a former airborne infantryman. Certainly. 1989. Love you, man. C-130 rolling down the strip. Airborne daddy gonna take a little trip. Stand up, hook up, shovel to the door. Jump right out and count to 4. When my chute does. Yeah, if my chute don't open wide, I got another one by my side. If that one should fail me too, well, move your, I'm coming through. Hey, y'all away. Sure, you know that song. Well, I was out of the Army before 1989. Fort Bragg was my first duty station. I wasn't airborne, though. My dad was. My dad was airborne in World War II. But I know the song. I did flub it a little bit there. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've done it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Army. I got out of the Army. I was in the Army from 1979 to 1983. Joined for 3 years, extended 9 months, bringing the family up to Alaska. Lived in Alaska at Fort Greely for 2 years. And then got out, came back to Alabama, and joined the Alabama National Guard for a couple of years. So I got two DD 214s discharged from the Army and discharged from the National Guard. So tell my mama I did my best. Pin silver medals on my chest. There you go. Silver wings upon his chest. Make him one of America's best. The Green Beret. When I was at Fort Bragg, I was in headquarters and headquarters company of the 426th Signal Battalion. I was the armorer. The unit right next door was the Green Berets. We trained on the same training ground they used. There was a big monument there that John Wayne had made for them and donated to them as a tribute after he made this movie, The Green Berets. I did see some some trailers for that movie. I don't see them anymore in the videos of troops running on the very same trails I was running. One day I was watching the movie and I look, oh, wait a minute, I know that tree, I know that curve. I ran there, I trained there. So that was kind of funny. Anyway, so yeah, I had a lot of friends in the Green Beret when I was at Fort Bragg. Maybe it's no fun. Oh, you're so right, Vicky. Well, Vicky went across country too. She should know. I was Texas Army National Guard, 143rd Infantry and 173rd Airborne Infantry. Well, very good, Billy. Appreciate that. Thank you for your service. I grew up in Minnesota where there were 2 seasons. Winter is coming and winter. Well, I gotta tell you, when I lived in Alaska, it was like living in a Christmas card 9 months out of the year. And for 3 months, the snow would go away. Things would turn green and then it would snow again. So there was winter and not winter. Yeah, Alaska was a very interesting place. Ice Planet, Alaska. Fort McClellan, Alabama. Hey, Blue Moon. Yeah, it's just right below me. I've been there, Fort McClellan, a few times. My older brother used to work there after he got out of the Army. He spent 16 years in and got out on medical discharge. He blew his knee out and couldn't run anymore. Bear Bond, 11th. Okay. I never knew about you, Billy. Yeah, that's the first time we heard, Billy. Salute to you, sir. Of course, enlisted guys don't normally salute each other. The funny thing when I was in the Army, though, is that if you salute an officer, they are supposed to return the salute. I used to just pester them. I'd send them way across the street and I'd salute them. And they go, sometimes they really didn't want to return the salute, especially when it's across the street, some distance away. I did just for giggles. Anywho, enlisted sergeants tell you, don't call me sir, I work for a living. So I wasn't enlisted. 3 months of rough sledding. There you go. Yes, rough sledding. That means no snow. Sledding with no snow. Mr. Biscuit strikes again. Who's Mr. Biscuit? Anyway. All righty, folks. So we're running a little bit longer than I meant to here. So I do have to get up in the morning myself early. It's already 2 a.m. Wow. Y'all hard to get away from. Y'all are hard to get away from. So guys, y'all are great. I really love all of you guys. I love all you guys and gals here. Greg, I caught you tonight. God bless you, Greg and family. I have to wrap up here at home. Yes, Alice, me too. So thank you again all for being here. And once again, thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Just thank you, everybody. And thank you for the prayers. So with that, I'm actually now am going to say how to end it here. There we go. Again, thank you. God bless and Greg out.